And for our Spotlight segment, we will now join our senior entertainment correspondent, Abidemi Dairo, in our digital studio, where I understand he's waiting with raving singer Kas. Take a look.
Thank you very much, Oge. Now, after 5 years, Nigerian raving music singer Kas is making a return back to music with 2 new singles. The singer, who appeared to have retraced his step from contemporary music to faith-based content in line with his new vision of being a pastor, made a refixed version of a then raving song, Familiar, now turned into a gospel track, and a new Thanksgiving song titled Baba. He now joins us live from London. Thank you very much, Kas, for joining us on the program today. Let's start with the big elephant in the room. The conversation has been that you have turned into a full-time pastor. Can you confirm this to us, please?
I'm a preacher, yes. I'm an evangelist. My job is to go and create churches and do crusades and do seminars. So yes, I'm an evangelist. But I'm still a singer, I'm still a producer, I'm still a songwriter.
Absolutely, this is great news. But before we get into the music and all of that, could you share with us the story of how you got converted and your encounter with God?
I've been a Christian all my life. My first major show was when I was 7 years old. And I remember after performing at the show, I remember the crowd chased me and my brother home. And after that, I remember I made a prayer. I said a prayer to God that, God, if you can make me a popular superstar, in return, I will serve you. So long story short, God made me this Kasbeat that you all know. And then, but I was running from God. And so after a while, God had to put his hold on me. But the long story short, I've been a Christian all my life. I've been a church boy all my life. The name Kasbeat, Kas is my name, but the name Kasbeat was given to me in the church, in my church in London. So because I'm a drummer, so as I do my beats, there's a specific type of beats that I do in church. So the church choir, the choir ministers, they all named me Kasbeat. So yeah.
Yes, yes, that Kasbeat. I remember back in 2009, it was everywhere, especially with the track Familiar. And at that period as well, you also got a remixed version with Two-Face and the band on it. I think you were the first person to get the 2 of them to be on the same track at that time. Yeah. Seeing the level you were at that period, and you had to let all of that go, was it a big and tough decision to say, okay, you know what, I'm leaving all of these things in the secular life and going to the gospel line?
It was big because obviously it's like you're used to a certain way, and now they're telling you you're hearing in your spirit, in your soul, in your body that you should change. So I was used to doing my secular music, and then so to not change, it's like having a bad habit, and someone telling you to get rid of that bad habit. So yeah, it wasn't easy, man. It wasn't easy. It took years. It's just now I can actually walk, but I'm still in process. I'm still in process. You never actually learn the full thing about God, so you just keep learning every day about God. So yes, I'm still in process.
So this brings us to the remix version, a refixed version of Familiar. Like we have already established, the first Familiar was everywhere, big, and a lot of people's favorite in the club and all of that. What were some of the reactions you're getting now that you have refixed it to become a gospel vibe and all of that? What's the reaction you're getting for people who had already fallen in love with the old one first?
Well, I had a few friends and fans that some of them were happy, some of them were angry. Actually, I remember one time I went to Manchester to do a show, and then one of my fans said to me, "Oh, Kas, I heard you're becoming a preacher now." I said, "Yeah." The guy was actually very angry, and he was like, "No, you don't have to do why you go and be a preacher? No, now which can't tell me that now. Should I'm saying no to release music again?" I'm like, "No, man, this is personal, God's race is personal. It's not, I'm not trying to impress you to do God's work. When God calls, you must answer." So, but later on, he warmed up to it. And even people that were thinking, no, if I do a refix to the gospel, it won't be good. But they see that it's actually better than the old one. And apart from that, when I was producing Familiar, the idea in my head was to do with God. But my problem was I'm not good at speaking Yoruba, even though I'm a Yoruba man, but I'm not good at speaking Yoruba. I should have said Femile Eshu, Femile. So, but obviously to make it commercial, I said Femile, baby, Femile. You know, so yeah.
Absolutely. But how's that reaction with you and your old colleagues in the secular music world now? Do you think people try now to how's that relationship? Have you maintained relationship with them, with people like the Banj, Tubaba and Co that you're friends with?
Yeah, with Two-Face, with the Banj, with Timaya, with all my colleagues and stuff. Everyone respects my decision. Even last time I was in Nigeria, I went to Two-Face's club. We're all chilling. Even I met Timaya one time in VI. He even told me, yo, congratulations, man. Even Timaya even told me, yo, he's into ministry too, but he just doesn't want to do it the way I'm doing it, But yeah, they congratulate me, man. I remember when I entered the club, Timaya said, Pastor, welcome, So it was cool, man. They receive it nicely because they themselves are very spiritual, but it's just, sometimes with the industry we're in, with music, it's, people need money. So some people will have to sing to please you to get money. But now my thing is to sing to please God, not to please man,
Your new project is coming up. You said a new album is going to be dropping. Will you be working with some of the people within the secular music in terms of producers and even some of your older recording artist colleagues?
Yeah, of course. With my new project, by God's grace, my album should be out next year. But right now, I'm just dropping singles. Like right now, I featured Samsung and Akbororo on the refix of Femile, and the video is out. And definitely, I'm going to feature a lot of gospel. My manager is arranging all that kind of stuff. But also, I'll feature secular artists as well, because God is the creator of me. So I don't see myself as secular music artist or gospel music artist. I just see myself as a musician. And my job is to make music to feed the spirit of God. So to please the spirit of God. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, my job is to please God. So definitely I'll have a lot of secular artists and a lot of gospel artists inside of the album, definitely. And I'm still going to do my Kasbeat, man. Yeah.
Exactly. We know that you have all those nice beats. But would you be able to feature on a song that is not faith-based in its direction, in its content? If somebody else is singing about women and alcohol, for instance, would you want to do it?
Well, the thing is, I've produced many songs which has women and alcohol in it. The thing is, would I want to feature someone that's singing that song? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and if somebody had extended an invitation to you and say, come and feature my songs about how beautiful women in Lagos and all of that.
Well, if they call me to do that, I would, but my part of the song would be inspiring. You can't push somebody away because they don't do what you do. And as a preacher, your job is to actually make them see the light. So basically, if they're saying, oh, Cass, I have this song, it's about booty, 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 I want to feature you on it, please. I'll say no problem. I'll jump on the song. The reason why I would jump on the song, on a worldly song, and put God in it is because there was a time where a man called Matthew invited Jesus to his house. And in the Bible, Matthew is a tax collector. And if you go to a tax collector's house in that time, it's like going to a nightclub. So it's like, oh, Cass, will you go to a nightclub? If God said I should go to a nightclub, yes, I would go. Why? But you're a preacher. I can go to a nightclub. I will go if God said make I go. Of course I will go. Because the job is to reach the people, Everybody in the church is not as holy. Jesus said, if you're not sick, you don't need a doctor. So Jesus actually went to the house of Matthew and he saved lives there and he saved people there. And he even said some of these people that you see will make heaven before you. So I will not criticize anybody. Anybody that wants to do a song with me, no problem. As long as the song is good, I'll bring Jesus into the song. That's my job.
Thank you very much, Cass. We are really looking forward to your new album that you said will drop next. Thank you very much again for joining us, and we wish you all the best.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That is the end of this segment. We'll be heading back to the rest of the program.